Hello and welcome to Płock, Poland, and we have all the action from the Drift Masters European Championships Round 3 coming right up. The impressive Wisła Płock Stadium is the venue, and we'll be seeing homegrown Polish wildcard entries taking on the big guns of European drifting in a spectacular day-night event. After amazing action in both Austria and France, we're now at the home of European drifting as the battle for the championship heats up. Dwayne McKeever is leading after winning the first two rounds. 2018 champ James Dean is in second on 142. Jack Shanahan is in third. 122 points for the consistent Finn Juha Rintanen in fourth. Lithuanian Benediktas Cherba is in fifth with 104. Paweł Borkowski is the leading Polish driver. 16-year-old Connor Shanahan is in 7th on 88, just 1 point ahead of Adam Zalewski. The track here in Płock is built around a football pitch and provides an incredible test for the drivers, with challenges not seen anywhere else in the championship. Here's Dave Egan to talk us through it.
So let's have a look at this track. So here you go, they come off the start line. This is where they kind of got to settle, a little slow around the corner. Don't do anything too hasty. Now it's full throttle, kick that clutch and send it into that first corner. And as you can see, this first outer zone one is a very long, you can see a little bit of front brake from the drivers here to balance the car. They're at full throttle here. Then it's the first of the transitions. Big angle, transition back, very close to the wall, and then you're back on outer zone 2. And that alone, that maneuver is very, very difficult. This is where it gets really unique. Transition the car, well, where you transition it inside zone 3, right into the wall. As you go back out, almost split-second turn out to the outside of the course. And this is where it's completely unique. Like a GPS system, you got to take the second exit on the roundabout because you're going into outer zone 5 and heading 180 degrees back where you came from. But it's still full throttle back on it. And look, another couple of transitions back on throttle. Every one of these wall zones, including outside zone 6, incredibly difficult to nail without making huge damage on your car. Another transition, and it's back out to outside zone 7. This is where the speed starts to creep up. The driver's going to put the foot down, go up a gear, and it's actually quite fast across the stadium here, and another big deceleration zone as they come into outside zone 6. Then it's foot to the floor, and you gotta hope that your car still has enough in the tank to get it across the finish line. And take a breath, because you've just survived a run of the Płock Stadium circuit.
Okay, time now to get into the best of the action from the top 32. After a sensational qualifying, the top 32 got underway with Norbert Schamek going head-to-head with Jack Shanahan. Shanahan was the top qualifier, showing how to do it on the unusual inner clipping zone with inch-perfect precision. However, the Hungarian brought the fight, and in the second run forced the Irishman into a mistake by overcommitting in a deceleration zone and putting Schamek through to the top 16, blowing the championship wide open. Championship leader Dwayne McKeever took on Michael Rijkaard, with McKeever having problems through practice and qualifying with engine power. A full-blooded battle saw the cars offline and bits of bodywork strewn all over the track. The two drivers put on an impressive show, but it was McKeever who was deemed more consistent, with the judges putting him through. Local wildcard Paweł Trailer went up against Adam Zalewski. The two Polish drivers wowed the crowds, and there was nothing to separate them over the first two runs, so a one more time run was required. The local legend Trailer showed amazing proximity driving onto the door of Zalewski in his Opel GT, with the cars making contact throughout. A very tough decision for the judges. But Trailer, the local hero, qualified for the top 16. Steve Baggioni against Brandy Brantner saw the two huge V8 engines battling it out. The Englishman seemed to be returning to form with a fast first run. However, inexplicably, Bagsy misjudged his initiation on the second run and ran his S13 dramatically into the wall, putting the Austrian through. Top Polish driver Piotr Więcek entered Drift Masters for the first time this season as a wild card, and his top 32 battle against rookie Kevin Quinn saw contact throughout. And an incredible two runs had the crowd on their feet. Ultimately though, the Polish driver's experience and pace meant he went through to the top 16. But credit to the Irishman Quinn for a great fight. A tetchy, frustrating run saw Conor Shanahan against Andrius Vasiliauskis. Shanahan was not happy with the Lithuanian's tactics over the two runs, and the cars collided on the roundabout on run 2. The judges ruled that the Lithuanian was at fault, and the top 16 place was the Irishman's. A slick and professional run saw the 2018 champ James Dean through against Axel Francois. The Frenchman hitting the water barrier as he attempted to put Dean under pressure in his Nissan S14. Britain's Matt Carter valiantly took the fight to Jakub Przygoński, having rebuilt his car after damaging it in qualifying. Kuba's line was consistent throughout his two runs, however, and he took the clear win over Carter. Another local driver, Paweł Borkowski, took on Juha Rintanen. Rintanen was super fast, but seemed to have too much grip dialed into the car, with the overall skill of Borkowski making him the third wildcard through to the next round. Tor Arne Kavir was aggressive from the start in his run against Roman Kolesar, putting the Slovakian under the cosh from the start. Kolesar found the wall on the second run, meaning the Norwegian qualified for the top 16 yet again. The final matchup of the top 32 saw Britain's Martin Richards making contact with Jordan's Ahmad Dahan in his S13. During their battle, the Red Bull driver lost power on the second run, putting Richards through. So, 32 done, let's see the best of the top 16 action. The first battle saw Norbert Schamek unable to continue his good form after beating Jack Shanahan in the top 32. His car suffering mechanical problems on run 1 and he was unable to continue. The marshals putting Heydrich through on safety grounds. Pavel Trailer took advantage of Dwayne McKeever's wounded car in a huge battle. The hometown boy made errors in the first run, but put in a flawless run 2 to cause a huge shock and go through to the Great 8. There was over 2,000 horsepower on track for Bartosz Stolarski versus Brandy Brantner in a scrappy battle. It was victory for Poland again as the hugely experienced Stolarski moved into the next round. James Dean was really feeling the pressure in Poland and was tested to the maximum by Jakub Przygoński. The judges could not separate the two drivers and sent them out on a one more time. Dean hit the wall and made mistakes on his lead run, but a near perfect chase run put the Irishman through to the top 8. The most incredible move of the top 16 went to Paweł Borkowski. The Polish fans' favourite, putting in a chasing masterclass on run 2. Diving deep and aggressively onto David Karkasik's door on the last corner, Borkowski was deservedly through. The remaining Shanahan brother was due to compete against Piotr Więcek in Heat 4, but he was unable to start due to his car being deemed unsafe to continue. A broken exhaust bracket putting an end to a miserable night all round for the Shanahans. British driver Martin Richards showed good skills and pace in qualifying, but after suffering steering issues, he made a huge mistake in his skyline against Tor Arne Kavir, and the Norwegian was through. Lithuanian Benediktas Čurba went all out to beat Grzegorz Hypki. His near-inch perfect line coming to a crashing end on their first run. Incredibly though, Čurba managed to continue into run 2, but the damage was done, and another Polish driver went through to the final 8. So that's the top 8 decided. Join me after the break for the incredible final battles here in Poland with some of the best drift action ever seen. Don't go away. Welcome back to Poland for the best of the action from the top 8. Now, you may have heard me refer to wildcard entries at this event. Here's Becky Evans to tell us more.
Did you know, uniquely to Drift Masters, at every event we have what is known as a wildcard. A wildcard is a local star driver from each host country selected for their talent and experience in their national league. These chosen drivers get the opportunity to compete against the best of Europe and in front of their home crowd. These drivers really put the cat amongst the pigeons, as they're very familiar with the track layout and also have the fans on their side. One to watch out for this weekend in Płock is Jakub Piszkonski and his GT86. No stranger to podiums in drifting, but also rally and motocross.
So there you go, a pretty unique facet to the world of drifting, and incredibly, we have wildcards in 3 out of the 4 top 8 battles. Paweł Trailer takes on Max Heidrich, Bartosz Starlowski will battle it out with Piotr Więcek, Paweł Borkowski takes on James Dean, and Grzegorz Hypki is up against Tor Arne Kavia to round out the top 8. Germany took on Poland in the first run of the Great 8, with Max Heidrich versus Paweł Trailer, competing hard for a top 4 place. Trailer did not have an answer to Max's great lead, his luck eventually running out after clipping the barrier on run 1. Suspension issues eventually put paid to the Poles' bid, and Heidrich went through, much to the disappointment of the home fans. Polish old versus Polish new were put head-to-head in Heat 2 of the top 8, with Bartosz Starlowski taking on Piotr Więcek. Starlowski had no answer at all to the younger driver's pure speed and skill, with Więcek's run seeing virtually no braking and pinpoint accuracy. Contact on run 2 made things a little closer for the judges, but it was Więcek who advanced to the top 4. Big questions were asked of the current champion in the battle of the season so far. Paweł Borkowski was right on the door of James Dean from the start of their top 8 battle. A huge dive onto Dean's BMW on run 1 showed that the Pole wasn't messing around. In the second run, an incredible chase from Dean saw him push all out for victory, but his dive on the final corner meant he almost went into the wall and lost proximity. The judges couldn't decide and put them out for a one more time. Borkowski was even more aggressive in the one more time run, and Dean couldn't shake the pole. Borkowski putting in as good a chase run as you could possibly go on this track. In the switch around, an incredible transition from Dean saw him right on the door of the local wildcard, but he could not catch the S14, and he was dramatically out of the competition. The final battle of the top 8 saw a problem-laden run for Tor Arne Kavia against Grzegorz Hypki. It got hot and heavy in their first battle, Hypki losing ground initially, then catching up to the Norwegians back end brilliantly. Kavia responded, showing great technique and putting in some great lines. However, after contact, the marshals informed the judges Kavia's car had a gearbox problem, putting Hypki through. After that amazing action, the top 4 looks like this. Piotr Więcek is up against Max Heidrich, and it's an all-Polish battle with wildcard Paweł Borkowski versus Grzegorz Hypki. Here's Dave Egan and Ian Waddington to take you through the final battles.
Hometown hero in a spot in the final up for grabs in front of a sellout audience at the Płock Stadium here in Poland. Więcek goes in with all the advantages, experience, hometown support, horsepower, trophies, podiums, but Heidrich has nothing to lose. This may be his time.
Because he's going against Poland's very best driver right now, as Piotr Więcek puts it to the wall straight away, no messing around, and Max Heidrich says, you are going miles too fast for me. You can see him slow that car down massively, he gets lost in the smoke now. He's a big straight in there for Max Heidrich, as Piotr Więcek stays in it. He navigates his way round now into these outer zones and throws big angle at it, and Heidrich over-rotates. Heidrich throws it away, Dave. It's all too much for the young German driver.
These guys are going as hard as they can. Flames, fireworks, door rubs. And I think you may have a Polishman in the final in Poland. But there he is, into the final of his home event. He's only competing at this event for the season, and what a time to turn on the charm, turn on the sparks, and get himself into the final. Here, it means maybe as much as any trophy anywhere else in the world. I don't know if I can take much more of Paweł Borkowski tonight, I'm going to be honest. He has been sensational. But Hypki, he's just as crazy, and that's the thing. These guys have battled in the past, and they're now getting this world stage. Here we go. You can't take your eyes off the Drift Masters European Championship. Borkowski goes back at it again.
Oh, he definitely goes back at it as he goes backwards into the side of Hypki's BMW, and he's locked up, and now he's into him. He gives him a little tag on the door, but it's upset his line. And you can see Borkowski playing with that little BMW as he says, this hasn't got no pace. I can control this battle my way.
Borkowski, though, look at that. Touches wheels and makes an error. Bumpers fly, panels fly, skirts fly. Borkowski needs another big dive. Look at it, the car just leapt towards Hypki. You can't predict it.
You said Borkowski can always do a little bit too much, and he did too much. As they slowed down into that roundabout, he got it wrong.
Look at this, Grzegorz Hypki firing in. He's got pace in that BMW, but it might not be enough for Borkowski. Not at all right now. He's got to do something very risky here and dive a little faster. Oh, it's a big dive. Too much, too soon. How does he hold it? How does Hypki hold it? He was on the front brakes and the rear brakes, and he still made it work.
Now he's going to try and work into it again, but you can see he's losing some ground now. Hypki is lost in a cloud of smoke as Borkowski runs the back of the car across the line.
Let's see what the judges say. They may think it a lot differently. Hypki and Borkowski, and there it is. Paweł Borkowski goes through. He had an error on the first run, and then he had to really shape up on the second. Kevin, it looks like he did exactly that. It's been a long day, it's been a long weekend, it's been a long night, but here we go. We are back on the start line. 2 battles remaining in this epic night in Poland, where Max Heidrich from Germany, who spun out against Piotr Więcek, take revenge against Grzegorz Hypki. This is for 3rd step on the podium. It's Hypki, Heidrich, here we go.
And here we go indeed. Look at this, Heidrich straight onto the side of Grzegorz Hypki's BMW. He's not going to make the same mistake he made. Oh, and look at this, he tags the back wheel onto Grzegorz Hypki's back wheel as they transition now into the D-cells. But can Hypki put away and gain that lost ground? Oh, and Heidrich makes a huge mistake. He drops a wheel off the edge of the circuit, and it's going for Hypki. A big lead in this battle as Hypki now makes his way through and looks for the final 2 outer zones.
Heidrich, look at this, he's shaking his head. He knows. What can he do? From the lead position, he's got it all against him here. He'd have to pull off a miracle to get onto that 3rd step on the podium from this point on.
We've seen a lot of stuff happen this weekend, and I'll tell you something for now, don't count him out of the fight just yet as he flicks that car around the roundabout and jumps into that lead position, and a very good line there from Max Heidrich, but he looked like he was going to go into the wall. I held my breath for a second there as he got off the foot brake. Hypki gives him some room to manoeuvre now, makes a dive as they come down into the wall now. They look for that front clipping point, and Max Heidrich on a very nice line, almost takes the front bumper off. He gets the back bumper onto the wall and flicks up some dust into the face of Grzegorz Hypki right now. They navigate their way around the roundabout. No mistakes this time for young Max Heidrich. He's doing everything he can possibly do. One more final transition into that second to last outer zone, and Hypki just sitting on that back bumper, not really forcing an error, but as he pushes eye up to the side of the German's car and says, "This is my town, buddy, and I'm here to win this battle."
I think that might be just what happened, Ian. It is indeed Hypki who takes 3rd place here in Poland, locking out the Polish podium. What a statement. Poland comes back swinging in Poland, unstoppable tonight.
I am here on the finishing line with Grzegorz Hypki. What an amazing performance that was. We were talking to you earlier, 6th qualifier, and now here you are in 3rd.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Polish public is awesome, and I'm very happy.
Your car, as it just squats down and pushes on, you were pushing him around the track.
Yeah, we push it, but we push it too hard. I have problem with differential. We don't have any bolts, and it's okay. It's history now.
No bolts, no problem. You're in 3rd, you're on that podium. You've made it.
Yeah, I made it. I'm very happy.
Well, it looked like European drifting. There was a lot of memes going around. There was a lot of statements being made after the first 2 rounds. We're back to square one. Delete, reset. We're going to Riga with a very different championship. But right now, our attention turns to that big final. Well, take one look around this stadium. Every phone in this stadium has just been lit up for this final between Borkowski and Piotr Więcek. The goosebumps have just risen on my arm and Ian's arm. I've never seen anything like this in a drift event in my entire life. Every person in this stadium is on their feet. Everyone has their hand above their head with their phone because 2 of their national heroes are just about to make history. We expect the best from these 2 guys now. Can they deliver?
I don't even think that's a question that you need to ask, because we know they are going to deliver. Right now, the final is set and ready to go. Piotr Więcek takes on Paweł Borkowski for the first step on the podium.
I'm taking a breath. I advise you all at home to do the same. Here we go. Last two runs of the night. Borkowski, he's been the star. He's beaten Więcek's teammate. Can he beat the hometown hero? He fires into that first corner. Więcek's got the pace, but Borkowski, the first man of the evening to match that pace and pin it to the Formula Drift star around that first half of the corner. Borkowski hungry for it into that last section, but Więcek picking up that pace, getting a little bit more speed. Borkowski, though, not backing down, not a paddle straight on his car. He's going to take it to the podium, but will he take the win? Look at this, fighting Więcek every inch of the way. Big transition from both drivers. Więcek kills the taillight on the back of the car. Borkowski's coming for it. He's got to be brave. He's got to make that dive. This one's for the win. This is for everything. He's got to push it and risk it for that wall. No, doesn't have the pace. Więcek's almost in the wall. Więcek has to back out, and Borkowski takes it across the line. Wow. Everything we expected and more. These guys are going tooth and nail and backing out. What a display from the best of Poland. The last run of the night, potentially the last run of the night, as Piotr Więcek thumbs up across to a rising Polish star and says, this has to be my night. I was raised on these streets, and I'm about to raise the roof in this stadium for every local person here. Piotr Więcek has it all to do, slams through the gears and throws it in on Borkowski. What was that? They both grazed the wall. Więcek right on the side of Borkowski's car, and this is what it's all about, throwing it absolutely. Caution to the wind, and he transitions on the brakes on behind Borkowski. Mistakes made from both drivers. It's getting wary out there.
Borkowski makes it into the roundabout. Piotr Więcek gives him some room to maneuver. I thought he was going to completely get out of it there. Now Więcek finds the side once again of Borkowski's S14, and another brave transition from Piotr Więcek. This is where it all could count now. Can Piotr Więcek? Oh, wow! Więcek almost takes the front of his car off on the back end, and they're into the wall, door on door, as Więcek pushes Paweł Borkowski across the line, and there we have it.
It has it all. What a drive, what an event, what a night. Piotr Więcek destroys the entire water barrier section. He has ridden the back end of the car off, celebrating at the end of the event. This event has lost control as the smoke screen goes up, the camera phones go out, and Poland is treated to one of the best nights of drifting in history. Incredible scenes. Everything you could want from an event, everything you could want from drivers on that grid, more than most can handle.
Is that his son?
I think that's Piotr Więcek's son, lifted in the air.
Oh,
and
wow,
Piotr Więcek's son in his dad's t-shirt, and
yeah.
he gives him a kiss and says, that one's for you. Incredible scenes, incredible stuff from Piotr Więcek, hero amongst mere mortals.
An amazing event. Guys, you pushed so hard, but first to you, Paweł, driving like this, it's great to see you in the Drift Masters.
Thank you very much. For me, Piotr Więcek is the best driver in the world, so congratulations for Piotr.
Great friends, off track, on track. Peter, it's great to see you back here. Honestly, you've been away in FD for so long and you've come home to show the guys how it's done.
Oh, thank you very much, and big thanks for Paweł. You know, Paweł, you're the best driver in my opinion. You know, you're excellent. You're driving like madman today. And can you tell me who was third?
Third was Grzegorz Hypki.
So, that's the best news. We have a whole Polish podium today, and that's amazing, you know. That's what everybody wants to see here, so I'm very excited. Doesn't matter what's happened right now, what's the result. I'm very happy that we could, you know, make a great show in front of such a amazing audience. I think it's record-breaking on this stadium, so that's excellent.
Thank you, Peter. Back to Dave for the results.
What a finale, what an event. Who is going to take top spot on the podium? Will it be Więcek? Will it be Borkowski? It's Paweł Borkowski! Paweł Borkowski's beaten Piotr Więcek and his teammate James Dean to win round 3 of the Drift Masters European Championship, and this place has just blown the roof off. Incredible scenes. This guy has come out of nowhere to be now one of the biggest stars in the game. He's deserved it. He's had the hardest run of any driver tonight.
Home crowd, how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Oh my God, I don't know what happened because I don't have my tire. So, oh my God, sorry. Very fantastic day for me. Today I was better, so I'm very happy.
Well, that was an amazing event we had for you here in Poland. Don't forget to join us again in Riga on the 2nd and 3rd of August, where we will have all of the action live from the top 32. I'm Ed Lee. I'll see you next time.